I want you to picture something. You're 19 years old. You just became an adult. And instead of living your life, you're sleeping 13 hours a day. My family had to wake me up just to eat. I'd get up, eat something, maybe study for 2 hours, and then I'd go back to sleep. That was my entire day. Sleep, eat, try to function, sleep again. I was taking 15 to 16 medicine every single day. Antidepressants, anti-anxiety pill that made everything feel distant. And you know what the worst part was? I used to be sharp and intelligent. I used to be a great reader. I could speed read with full comprehension. It was my skill. But at that time, I had brain fog. I could not make a single decision clearly. I could not feel anything clearly. And then one night around midnight, I looked at myself in the bathroom mirror. Dark circles, dull face, the spark I used to have in my eyes was completely gone. And I remember thinking, this is not me. What I did next, I didn't plan. I didn't think about it. I just acted. But before I tell you what happened, you need to understand something about where I came from. See, I come from a family where astrology was practiced, but I was a science student. I wanted logic, proof, evidence. So when people around me talked about astrology, about planets affecting our lives, about remedies and rituals, I rejected all of it. I thought it was superstition, I thought it was people forcing beliefs without logic. And honestly, I'd seen so many pundits, so many people claiming to know astrology who just didn't make sense to me. So I said no. Hard no. But you know what's funny about life? Sometimes the thing you reject the hardest is exactly what you need most. And I was about to find that out in the most unexpected way. So, back to that midnight moment in the mirror. I'm staring at myself and I don't recognize the person looking back. And at that moment, I made a decision. I walked to the bathroom cabinet. I took all those expensive pills, bottles, and bottles of them, and I flushed every single down the toilet. All of them. I told my family I was not buying them again. I told my friend I was done. I didn't have a backup plan. I just knew I could not keep living like that. Same night, I started searching online for answers. I came across information about guided meditation. And honestly, I was so exhausted, so tired of fighting, of trying, of barely surviving. So I just laid down on my bedroom floor. It was cold. I didn't care. I put my palms facing up toward the ceiling. I pressed play on a guided meditation and I surrendered. I surrendered all my energy to the universe, to the God, to whatever was listening. And then the tears started. I don't know how long I cried, but something shifted. I felt heat coming out of my palms, out of the soles of my feet. And I felt this heavy energy leaving my body. Very heavy. Like something that had been sitting inside me for so long was finally being released. No one saw me. I was completely alone. But for the first time in months, I felt light and seen. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do anything with astrology? Everything. For me, everything. Because what happened in the weeks after that floor moment changed the entire direction of my life. Around the same time as that meditation experience, I started looking into astrology. Not because I suddenly believed in it, but because I was desperate for answers. And someone had once said to me, if you want logic, go read the books yourself. So I did. And you know what I found? The calculations, the astronomy, the speed of planets, the eclipse prediction. It was all scientifically accurate. These ancient texts were not just stories, they were based on math, on observation, on thousands of years of recorded patterns. I found that astrology was not some vague mystical thing. It was astronomy combined with psychology. It was a science that had been passed down to help people understand themselves. And the more I read, the more I realized something. I wasn't broken. I was just going through a phase. In Vedic astrology, it's called the eighth house period. Eighth house is known as the house of death, of suffering, of obstacles. But people fear it so much. But what they don't know, they don't tell you, is that it's also the house of transformation, of healing, of rebirth. And that's exactly what was happening to me. I was dying to my old self so I could be reborn into who I was meant to become. Now, healing was not instant. It took a lot of time and lots of efforts. But I want to share with you what I did next because these are the exact practices that brought me back to life. After that floor moment, after discovering astrology had logic, I started rebuilding myself. I woke up early, I started running in the Brahma Muhurat, the early mornings before sunrise. I fixed my diet, I dove into Ayurveda practices, I went to Vipassana meditation twice. I'll share more about Vipassana in another video, but trust me, it was life changing. And slowly, day by day, I started to heal. Not just my body, my mind, my spirit. I stopped asking, why me? And I started saying, thank you. Thank you for that depression. Thank you for that rock bottom. Because you know what I have realized? When you have hit the absolute bottom of your life, there's only one direction left to go up. That difficult 8 house period didn't destroy me, it rebuilt me. It gave me purpose, it gave me empathy, it gave me the ability to help others the way I wish someone had helped me. It took me years before I gave my first consultation. Years of studying, years of healing myself first. Because I didn't just want to predict things for people, I wanted to help them transform. And when someone comes to me now, stuck, confused, suffering, I see my 19-year-old self in them. And I get to tell them what I wish someone had told me back then. You're not broken, you're just blocked, and blocks can be cleared. So that's my story from a science student who rejected astrology to sleeping 13 hours on 16 pills to lying on a cold floor surrendering the universe to becoming a Vedic astrologer who helps people upgrade their lives. If you are going through your own 8 house period right now, your own rock bottom, I want to hear this. It's not the end, it's the beginning of your transformation. Your worst period can become your biggest breakthrough. This channel is about exactly that, helping you upgrade your life using Vedic astrology, Vastu, practical remedies, and real guidance. Empty promises, just transformation. If this story resonated with you, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about wealth, relationship, health, and purpose. And if you have been through something similar or if you are going through it right now, leave a comment. Tell me your story. You're not alone. I'll see you in the next video.